Tina's comment about my past surgery felt like ages ago. Michael led me to a meeting where Director Shaw greeted me with surprising deference, irking Tina. In his office, Michael questioned my special treatment and respect for Athena, but Shaw insisted I'd participate. Turning to Michael, Shaw asked pointedly, "Do you know who she is? Will the director reveal my identity? How will Michael and Tina react to this?" Michael frowned, his confusion evident. He didn't understand why Director Shaw was asking him if he knew anything about me. He didn't need to know anything about me. Michael looked at me, then back at Director Shaw, who asked him, his voice carrying a strange weight, "Who is the person you admire the most, Michael?" In an instant, a flicker of something akin to understanding seemed to cross Michael's face. His head whipped around abruptly, his gaze fixed on me in disbelief. "Are you saying that you're—" Director Shaw shook his head, a hint of exasperation in his expression. Michael could be so brilliant yet so utterly clueless at times. But then Michael finished his sentence, his voice filled with dawning recognition. "Athena's first assistant, Lily?" Director Shaw sighed, a sound of quiet resignation. Astounded, Michael exclaimed, his voice hushed with awe. "Are you really Lily? I'd only heard that Athena's first assistant was a young lady, but I didn't expect her to be this young. If you're Lily, then you're incredibly impressive, Miss Smith." Director Shaw rolled his eyes, a silent commentary on Michael's density. "She's not Lily," Director Shaw stated flatly. "All right, Michael, you can head out for now." Michael's eyebrows shot up, his confusion deepening. "If I wasn't Lily, then who in the world?" Confused, Michael frowned, but he obediently left the room after casting another bewildered glance in my direction. After he was gone, Director Shaw closed the door and looked at me, a helpless amusement in his eyes. "You might not believe it after all that fuss, but that boy has remarkable abilities in neurosurgery. A genuine prodigy. He'll surpass even me one day. It's just that he can be a little obtuse. I hope you won't hold it against him." I waved a careless hand, utterly unbothered. Director Shaw visibly relaxed. He took out the personnel list, handed it to me and said, "This is the finalized list for the operation. Do you think it needs any adjustments?" Despite having already signed off on it, he clearly needed my personal confirmation. I scanned the names carefully. My gaze lingered on Tina Yorks. Tina, the architect of that distasteful public spectacle, the one who had likely orchestrated Henry's arrival in New York. A subtle manipulation, a whispered word to Angela. It all fit. I couldn't ignore her presence on this team any longer. I wanted her gone. But I needed a legitimate reason, the right moment. A small smile touched my lips. For now, her name could stay, but I added one more, Lisa Black. As I wrote Lisa's name, a detached thought crossed my mind. If I wasn't related to Henry by blood, then the familial ties to Lisa and Aunt Irene were also technically non-existent, but Aunt Irene had always treated me with a genuine warmth. I didn't mind maintaining those connections, regardless of biology. Director Shaw smiled when he saw my addition. "You're surprisingly rather protective of your student." I stifled a yawn, rising to my feet. "She's my student. Of course, I have to protect her." Director Shaw then said hastily, "You didn't ask for your usual assistant this time, so I've arranged one for you. I am sorry about Michael's earlier behavior, but he is exceptionally skilled. Would you consider working with him?" I glanced at the door Michael had just exited. I nodded slowly. "I'll leave that decision to you, Director." I turned and stepped out of the office. Unexpectedly, Michael was still standing right outside the door. When he saw me, he looked at me hesitantly, a genuine curiosity in his eyes. "Who exactly are you, Miss Smith?" My lips quirked upward into a small, enigmatic smile. "Why don't you take a guess, Michael?" Then I left, not giving him another chance to speak. I headed downstairs towards the car park. My cell phone rang. I answered, Cherry's voice, small and worried, coming through the speaker. "Mommy, can you look up someone for me?" I raised an eyebrow. "Who is it, Cherry?" Her voice sounded unusually sad. "It's my sponsor, Grandpa. He hasn't been on Messenger for 36 hours and 7 minutes. Can you find out who he is for me? If it's possible, can you tell him to log on? Our spark of friendship is about to go out." I frowned. "I'm busy, Cherry, and I need to sleep. I already asked Pete. Mommy, you're not in bed right now. If you don't help me, I'll have to ask Grandaunt." Resigned, I sighed. "Just this once, Cherry. I know. I won't ask again." Her voice brightened instantly. She hung up after a series of effusive. As I walked towards my car, Cherry's plea echoed in my mind. Sponsor Grandpa? A spark of friendship about to go out? The dramatic flair was certainly hers. Still, a promise was a promise. I'd have to look into this, whoever this mysterious online figure was. And what exactly was I going to discover about Cherry's elusive sponsor Grandpa?
Hi, Nora here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Saving Nora Now with the link in the description.